And welcome back to Metropole Sports Center. My name is Nation Owana. Well, on this segment, you're going to be making sense of the resumption dates or the resumption updates of the various leagues that as I had mentioned in the first aspect of the show. Now, once again, I'm joined in studio by our resident analyst, that is John Makali, to make sense of the conversation. Welcome to studio, John Makali.
I'm humbled to be back.
It's always good to have you in studio.
I'm humbled. I think today we're not going to agree on so many things. I'm a bit pissed off with what is happening in terms of sports. But again, let's see what happens.
Okay. So how has your week been? I mean, there are some, at least there's a light at the end of the tunnel. The leagues are about to resume, say, in a matter of days or weeks. What do you make out of that?
You know, just before I got here, I was on a call with one of the sports analysts, a very renowned person, Collins Neribo, and he was asking me, he was telling me actually we have some prospect that we're going to have the English Premier League back, but I don't think we need to sacrifice the lives of these footballers, the lives of the staff and everyone around football just because we want to be entertained with football. But again, we need to look at it in this perspective, National. The reason as to why everyone is advocating for the return of football is because of economic factors. Everyone has invested in this thing, and everyone is seeing that actually I'm going at a big loss. So that's why everyone wants to see football back. Obviously, the players will want to play because I think in like three months, most of the players their contracts will be out, so they'll want to play. But again, we need to look at it in large. Are we going to risk lives of people just because we want to be entertained? So to me, the authorities need to look at it in a bigger perspective, not just because of money or just because of entertainment. Because if you say that, just the other day, so the Prime Minister of France, he actually cancelled all sporting activities in France, and I think it's a good move to follow suit what Netherlands are doing. But again, everyone wants to look at English Premier League because it's the most followed and most watched globally. So everyone wants to see the likes of Arsenal playing, Manchester playing. But again, you look at, you're saying that players, when they go, you know, football it's actually a game of contact. So if you're saying that we're going to have that distance of 1 meter, it's not going to happen. We're going to have players scoring goals, and they will want to celebrate, and they'll actually come in contact. And if you actually say that we want to see football back, that means we're going to have people gathering in houses to watch the football. So we're not going to risk the lives of players only. Even the fans out there, they're going to start gathering, and it will just be a mess.
Okay. Interesting that you've mentioned the aspect that the English Premier League or the other clubs are putting the commercial aspect of the sport ahead of the safety of the players and the relevant stakeholders within the sport. Now, the Spanish La Liga has given out a four-pronged approach in terms of to how they are going to ensure the resumption of the league. Are you satisfied, or do you think the English Premier League has set up in place enough structures to ensure that the league continues safely?
Actually, we need to be a realistic nation. As I said, football is a game of contact. So if you're saying you're going to make like test players before they go to the field, we're not just going to risk the lives of the players. You know, we have players who are asthmatic, and if they contract this virus, then it means we're going to lose even players. After playing every game, these players are going to meet their families back at home, and those families, maybe they have businesses, they've come into contact with other people. So as a result, we're going to have a lined up string of people whereby they're actually affected. And you know, if football wouldn't have been non-economic, then we will have football not being played for quite a long time, but because people have invested, everyone wants to think of it financially. So to me, I think the best option is just to do what the French Ligue 1 and the Netherlands League have done, actually to cancel the league. That thing of putting measures, it's not actually going to work. So does it mean these players are going to be isolated after the game? Are they not going to meet their families? Are they just going to stay at the camp? And after the game, they're going to meet in the dressing rooms, they're going to interact, they're going to exchange their shirts after the match. It's going to be a big mess. I just heard of Bundesliga, Borussia. They're saying that their season fans, they're going to print the pictures and hang them somewhere in the stadium so that at least they can create that atmosphere. And even the media houses which have the rights to broadcast again the matches, you know, these guys have paid a lot of money in terms of broadcasting the matches, saying that they're going to create that atmosphere. I think they use the recorded sounds of previous matches just to entertain the fans and everyone.
Okay. So an interesting aspect in this whole conversation is two aspects. One, the aspect of playing football in closed doors. That is one. Two, the English Premier League has set out a date of probably resuming the game in sometime in June and then ending it in July 27, and then probably start the season of 2020-2021 in August. How practical is that, though?
I think the best option is actually to await the fate of this coronavirus. And, you know, we need to look at Europe. How is it doing there? You know, there are some areas which are actually most affected. You know, you have some countries like they have only one case. You know, with such countries you can have football going on, but again, you have the likes of English Premier League where players come from different countries. Some of them have been in Italy, some of them have been in the US. You have the likes of policies coming from United States. You don't know how the state of the country is. So if we know that actually the COVID-19 virus, the state is actually very low, or the infection is not going, we're not having big numbers, then we can have football going on. But again, it's not actually affecting the English Premier League. Even yesterday had the CEO of FKF, Barry Otieno, was saying that CAF have actually given them up to 8 days to decide on their fate of KPL, and I think the best option for them is actually going to cancel. So if we give this thing time up to until September, just like French Ligue 1 have done, it means we're going to have the state, maybe it's not going to be that much, the various, it won't be that much, and then we can have football back. But again, yesterday I was listening to Gary Neville, the former Manchester United player. He was saying that they had a meeting and everyone is saying that we're going to purchase up to around 4 million euros to purchase the kits to test players. I mean, that is going to be very, very, very expensive to teams. Like if you look at EFL, League 1 and 2, not every team can raise up to 200,000 euros just to chip into that thing of purchasing the kits so that you can test the players.
Okay. So I hope eventually they make a decision based on the safety more than the commercial aspect of the sport. Well, thank you so much, Makali, for joining me once again. Looking forward to having you again here.
I'm humbled to be here always.
Thank
you so much. I think I'm making this place home.
Okay. So today on the Money Ref segment of the show, we are going to be looking at tennis. Specifically, we're going to be looking at the Wimbledon tournament. Now, today on Money Ref, we are going to be talking about how much do the players at the Wimbledon tournament take home after the event. Now, the winner of the Wimbledon tournament takes a total of $2.9 million prize money out of the Wimbledon tournament. The runners-up takes home a total of $1.4 million, and then the semi-finalist takes home a total of $746,572. Then the quarterfinalist takes home a total of $286 million. $286 million. Then the round 4 finalists get a total of $223,464, and then finally the round 3 people reach, the individuals who reach the round 3 of the tournament get a total of $140,934, and then round 2 91,417, and finally 57,136 for the person who only exits the tournament at the round one, the first round of the tournament. Now today on the game profile we are going to be sticking still to matters tennis. Now on the game profile every week we tend to sample a specific sport and look at an interesting aspect of the sport that you probably didn't know or you've not had about. Now today on game profile, here's the first aspect that you probably didn't know about tennis. Prior to the use of rackets in tennis, people used to use the palms to hit the ball back and forth. The palm method was replaced in the 1500s when rackets were introduced. Now picture this, you are watching the Wimbledon tournament and then probably there you see Serena Williams playing tennis with the back of her hand. It's funny, but still just shows us how much the sport has developed over the ages. Now the first Wimbledon championship were played in 1877 in London, England. Now it's estimated that the Wimbledon tournament is one of the oldest tennis tournaments in the world. Now in 1498, Charles of France hits his head on the door of a primitive tennis court and died. Such a sad state of affairs. And then women who played in the first Wimbledon tournaments, that is in 1877, had to wear full-length dresses. You can imagine how that was. And then in 2007, the prize money for Wimbledon winners became equal for men and women. And then finally, Arthur Ashe was the first African American to win the US Open. He won the tournament for the first and the only time in 1968. Now that's all we had for you on this segment of Metropole Sports Center. We take a short commercial break. See you on the other side of the show.